Greetings! We are Group 2 and we want to explain the general idea of our video. Every day we do a lot of activities which involves our whole body to accomplish it. But in this video, we are talking about the biopsychological perspective of our activities. Did you know that the biological process in our body actually affects our behavior, even moods? The brain, hormones, and the neurotransmitters have an influence on how we act every day. Because of that, in this video, we are going to explain about learning and what is the biopsychological process behind it. So, what is learning? According to Wayne Wadden's 10th edition of Psychology Themes and Variation, learning is any relatively durable change in behavior or knowledge due to experience. To make it easier, we categorize learning by 3 main styles. It includes visual, auditory, and kinesthetic styles. Have you heard of it? I think you have heard it once.
Have you ever noticed that you understand things better when you see them, like through diagrams, charts, and videos like this? That is called visual learning. It all starts with our eyes. When you look at an image, light enters your eyes and it's converted into electric signals by the retina. These signals travel along the optic nerve to the thalamus, then to the occipital lobe at the back of our brain. The occipital lobe is our brain's visual headquarters, which primarily include primary visual cortex, also known as V1, processes basic visual features like lines, color, and motions, and nearby regions like V2, V3, V4, and V5 to take over, helping your brain recognize pattern, shapes, depth, and movement. Next, the information flows through 2 major pathways, brain pathways, I mean. The ventral stream helps you to recognize what you're looking at, objects, faces, and details. And the dorsal stream figures out where things are, tracking movement and spatial location. But we can't forget that neurotransmitter that helps us in processing visual information. Brain chemicals or neurotransmitters play a big role too. Acetylcholine boosts your attention and helps your brain focus on what we see. Dopamine keeps us motivated and rewards our brain for successful learning. And glutamate helps strengthen the connection between the brain cells so we can remember what you learned. Once our brain makes sense of the image, the hippocampus stores that information in long-term memory. That's why we often remember pictures more easily than words. It's called picture superiority effect. Some people have brains that are naturally wired to learn visually. They might have stronger activity in the occipital lobe or simply find it easier to link images with meanings. Are you a visual learner?
Do you learn best when you listen to something? Maybe during a lecture, decision, or even music? If so, you may be an auditory learner. When you hear a sound, it travels through your ear canal, vibrate your eardrum, and move through the tiny bones in our middle ear. Inside the cochlea, a spiral-shaped organ, this vibration will turn into electrical signal, and those signals will travel through the auditory nerve and end up in our brainstem. Then, it will move to thalamus, which is where our brain relay station is located. From there, they reach to primary auditory cortex that is located in our temporal lobe. This is where our brains begin to decode pitch, rhythm, and tone in sound. Next, our brain taps into the Wernicke's area, which help us understood speech, and Broca's area, which help us express it. Together, this region turns sounds into meaning, allowing us to express language and remembering what we heard more effectively. But what makes this process memorable? There's where neurotransmitters come into play. There are acetylcholine, dopamine, glutamate, gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA for short. Acetylcholine sharpen our focus and help our brain filter out distraction and pay attention to what we're hearing. Dopamine is our brain reward system. It is when we hear something exciting or meaningful, like a motivating lecture or a catchy song. It gives our brain a green light to remember it, and glutamate helps our brain build strong connection. It plays a key role in long-term potential, which is a biological process behind learning and memory. GABA helps us stay calm and focused, especially in a noisy environment. It reduces unnecessary signal, so our brain can concentrate on what matter the most. After processing, our hippocampus stores the most important sound and word in a long-term memory. If you heard something repeatedly, or if it is connected to an emotion, then it has become easier to remember. So, do you learn better with a sound?
So, do you like learning with hands-on experience? Maybe back then you learned biology better by doing experiments. This might be a sign you are a kinesthetic learner. When we talk about kinesthetic learning, we talk about the motor system, which is the part of the brain that controls movement, coordination, and muscle memory. Several key areas of the brain are involved, which includes primary motor cortex, premotor cortex, supplementary motor area, cerebellum, basal ganglia, and somatosensory motor cortex in the frontal lobe send signals to your muscles to make voluntary movements like writing, dancing, or using tools. The premotor cortex and supplementary motor area help plan and organize your movements, like remembering the steps to solve a math problem by physically acting it out. Your cerebellum is like your brain's balance coach. It helps fine-tune your movements and make them smooth, coordinate, and efficient. Basal ganglia store routines and repeated actions, are what we often call muscle memory. That's how you can type without looking or ride a bike without thinking. Somatosensory cortex handles touch and body awareness. It helps you understand where your body is in space and how it's interacting with the environment. How does your brain chemically support kinesthetic learning? There are 4 important neurotransmitters, which are acetylcholine, dopamine, glutamate, and GABA. Dopamine boosts motivation and rewards. It helps reinforce movement patterns and support learning by making physical activities feel satisfying and memorable. Acetylcholine sharpens your attention and motor control. It helps you link movement to memory, especially when you learn something new with your body. Glutamate helps form long-term memories by strengthening connection between neurons during physical learning. GABA helps regulate and control your movements, making them smooth and focused instead of jittery or distracted. After that, your hippocampus stores this experience in long-term memory, and your prefrontal cortex helps organize them, giving you the ability to repeat those actions with purpose and accuracy. Kinesthetic learning depends on multisensory integration, especially between movement and tactile input. For example, when a learner manipulates clay to a model concept or traces a word with their finger, the brain integrates motor output with touch input, reinforcing memory through physical feedback. Mirror neurons located in the premotor cortex and parietal lobe also play a role. They activate both when performing an action and when watching others performing. It helping kinesthetic learners imitate and learn movement effectively.
So, whether you learn best by seeing, hearing, or doing something, your brain and body are working together in an amazing way to help you grow. From the neural pathway that process sight and sound to the muscle memories that guide your hands, learning is not just about books and lectures. It's a full-body, brain-powered experience. Understanding the biopsychological side of learning doesn't just explain how we take in information. It empowers us to learn smarter, not harder. So, are you a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner?